Picture this. You're 93 years old. You wake up without an alarm clock, feeling refreshed and energetic. You prepare your own breakfast, tend to your garden, and later that day, you bicycle to the local market to shop for fresh ingredients. You're not dependent on anyone. Your mind is sharp. Your body is strong. And you're genuinely happy. Sound impossible? It's not. This is the reality for tens of thousands of elderly people in Japan right now. In Japan, there are over 90,000 people who have celebrated their 100th birthday. That's more centenarians per capita than anywhere else on Earth. But here's the truly remarkable part that will blow your mind. These aren't frail individuals confined to nursing homes, dependent on round-the-clock care. Walk through the streets of Okinawa, and you'll see 95-year-olds still working in their gardens every morning. Visit the markets in Kyoto, and you'll find 87-year-olds running small businesses, chatting with customers, their minds as sharp as people half their age. In the rural villages of Japan, it's common to see centenarians cooking elaborate meals for their families, driving cars, and living completely independent lives. Now let me paint a different picture. Here in the Western world, we've come to accept a very different reality. We expect our joints to ache by our 70s. We resign ourselves to forgetting names and faces. We assume that multiple medications, frequent doctor visits, and gradual loss of independence are just natural parts of aging. The average American begins experiencing significant cognitive decline in their mid-70s. Hip fractures, heart disease, and diabetes rates skyrocket after age 65. We spend our golden years managing symptoms instead of enjoying life. But what if I told you that this dramatic difference between Japanese elders and Western elders has nothing to do with genetics? What if the secret to their incredible vitality, mental sharpness, and independence isn't found in expensive supplements, complicated exercise programs, or high-tech medical treatments? What if the answer is sitting right there in your local grocery store, probably in foods you've walked past 100 times without giving them a second thought? My name is Dr. Sarah Chen, and I've dedicated the last 18 years of my life to understanding why some populations age with grace and vitality while others struggle with decline and dependency. I've traveled to the longest-living communities around the world, studied their habits, analyzed their diets, and interviewed hundreds of healthy centenarians. What I discovered in the remote islands of Okinawa, the bustling neighborhoods of Tokyo, and the quiet mountain villages of rural Japan completely transformed everything I thought I knew about aging. You see, when most people think about Japanese longevity, they assume it must be genetics. After all, Japanese people have been living longer than most other populations for decades, right? Wrong. This is one of the biggest misconceptions about healthy aging. Groundbreaking research from Kyoto University studied over 50,000 Japanese immigrants to America and their descendants. What they found was shocking. First-generation Japanese immigrants who moved to America and adopted Western eating habits experienced the same rates of heart disease, diabetes, and cognitive decline as their American neighbors. Their children and grandchildren, born and raised on American food, had even worse health outcomes. But those who maintained traditional Japanese eating patterns, even while living in America, retained the same remarkable longevity and vitality as their relatives back in Japan. This proves beyond any doubt that genetics account for only about 25% of how we age. The other 75% is entirely within our control. It's not about the DNA you inherited from your parents. It's about the choices you make every single day. And here's the beautiful truth that's going to change your life. It's not about following some restrictive diet that eliminates all the foods you love. It's not about expensive superfoods shipped from exotic locations around the world. It's not about complicated meal plans that require hours of preparation. The secret lies in 5 specific, ordinary foods that Japanese elders consume every single day. Foods that work together to create what researchers now call the biological age reversal effect. These foods reduce inflammation at the cellular level, protect your brain from age-related damage, strengthen your bones and muscles, keep your heart pumping strong, and boost your immune system to levels comparable to people decades younger. The best part? Every single one of these foods costs less than $5 per serving. You can find them in your neighborhood grocery store. And incorporating them into your daily routine requires no special cooking skills, expensive equipment, or dramatic lifestyle changes. Over the next 20 minutes, I'm going to share these 5 foods with you in order of importance, explain exactly how each one works in your body, show you the scientific research that proves their effectiveness, and give you simple, practical ways to start incorporating them into your life starting today. Food number 5, Green Tea, the Daily Cellular Protector. Let's start with number 5, and this one might surprise you because it's so simple. Green tea. But not just any green tea, and not consumed the way most Westerners drink it. In Japan, the average person over 60 drinks between 4 and 7 cups of green tea every single day. That's not because they're addicted to caffeine. In fact, green tea contains less caffeine than coffee. They drink it because, for over 1,000 years, Japanese culture has recognized green tea as medicine. And modern science has proven them absolutely right. Green tea contains a powerful compound called EGCG, that's epigallocatechin gallate. I know it's a mouthful, but this compound is literally like a protective shield for every cell in your body. EGCG is what scientists call a polyphenol, and it's one of the most potent antioxidants found in nature. Here's how it works in your body. Every day, your cells are under attack from something called free radicals. These are unstable molecules created by normal body processes, pollution, stress, and even the food you eat. Free radicals damage your cell membranes, your DNA, and the mitochondria that power your cells. This damage accumulates over time and is one of the primary causes of aging. EGCG neutralizes these free radicals before they can cause damage. It's like having a personal bodyguard for every cell in your body. The research on green tea and longevity is absolutely mind-blowing. The Osaki study, conducted by Tohoku University, followed over 40,000 Japanese adults for 11 years. Those who drank 5 or more cups of green tea daily had a 41% lower risk of death from heart disease, a 23% lower risk of stroke, and a 12% lower risk of death from any cause. But here's what makes green tea especially important for those of us over 60. Multiple studies have shown that it protects your brain from the damage that leads to memory problems and cognitive decline. A groundbreaking study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed over 1,300 elderly Japanese people for several years. Those who drank green tea daily scored significantly higher on memory tests, had better attention and processing speed, and showed dramatically slower rates of cognitive decline compared to those who didn't drink tea. The researchers found that green tea doesn't just prevent new damage to brain cells. It actually helps repair existing damage and promotes the growth of new neural connections. Think of it as fertilizer for your brain. Green tea also contains an amino acid called L-theanine that works synergistically with the small amount of caffeine to improve focus and mental clarity without causing jitters or crashes. This is why many Japanese elders remain mentally sharp and alert well into their 90s. Now, I know what many of you are thinking. 7 cups of tea sounds like a lot, especially if you're not used to drinking tea regularly. But here's the beautiful thing about this habit. The Japanese don't drink it all at once. They sip it throughout the day as a mindful ritual. A cup with breakfast as they read the morning news. Another cup mid-morning while tending to household tasks. One with lunch. Another in the early afternoon. One more in the evening while watching television or reading. Each cup becomes a moment of pause, a few minutes of calm in the day. It's not rushed or gulped down like coffee often is. It's savored. And unlike coffee, green tea won't interfere with your sleep. The L-theanine actually promotes relaxation and better sleep quality when consumed regularly. If you're new to green tea, start with just 1 cup per day and gradually increase over several weeks. Choose high-quality loose-leaf tea when possible, as it contains higher levels of beneficial compounds than tea bags. Brew it at 170 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 to 3 minutes. Water that's too hot will make the tea bitter. You can add a small amount of honey if needed, but try to gradually reduce sweeteners as your taste buds adjust. The Japanese drink their tea plain, and after a few weeks, most people find they prefer the clean, refreshing taste without any additions. Food number 4, fermented soybeans, the bone and heart guardian. Number 4 is going to challenge some of you, but I promise that by the end of this section, you'll understand why it's so important. It's natto, fermented soybeans. I'll be completely honest with you. Natto has a strong, distinctive smell and a sticky, stringy texture that can seem very off-putting to people who didn't grow up eating it. Many Westerners try it once and never touch it again. But before you dismiss this food, let me share some statistics that will absolutely amaze you. Japanese women have the lowest rates of hip fractures in the entire world. While 1 in 4 American women over 70 will suffer a hip fracture that often leads to loss of independence, chronic pain, and premature death, this number drops to just 1 in 20 among Japanese women of the same age. Japanese people also have remarkably low rates of heart disease despite consuming a diet that includes rice and other carbohydrates. Their arteries remain flexible and clear well into old age. The secret? Natto contains the highest natural concentration of vitamin K2 found in any food on Earth. Not vitamin K1, which you find in leafy greens, but vitamin K2, which has completely different and much more powerful effects in your body. Vitamin K2 functions like a traffic director for calcium in your body. It ensures that calcium goes exactly where you need it, into your bones and teeth, and stays out of places where it can cause problems, like your arteries and soft tissues. Without adequate vitamin K2, the calcium from your diet and supplements can actually work against you. It gets deposited in your arteries, contributing to hardening and blockages, while your bones become brittle and weak from lack of proper calcium utilization. The Rotterdam study, which followed over 4,000 elderly Europeans for 10 years, found that those with the highest vitamin K2 intake had a 57% lower risk of death from heart disease and a 26% lower risk of death from any cause. But natto provides benefits far beyond just vitamin K2. The fermentation process that creates natto produces an enzyme called nattokinase that has remarkable blood-thinning properties. This enzyme helps prevent dangerous blood clots and improve circulation throughout your body. A study published in the journal Hypertension Research found that people who ate natto regularly had significantly lower blood pressure, better cholesterol profiles, and improved arterial flexibility compared to those who didn't consume fermented soy products. The fermentation process also creates beneficial bacteria, probiotics, that support digestive health. As we age, maintaining a healthy gut microbiome becomes increasingly important for immune function, mood regulation, and even cognitive health. Scientists now know that the gut and brain are intimately connected through what they call the gut-brain axis. Now, let's talk about how to actually incorporate natto into your diet. Traditional Japanese preparation involves eating it over rice with soy sauce, chopped green onions, and sometimes a raw egg. The strong flavors help mask the unusual texture. If you're new to natto, start with very small amounts, maybe half a tablespoon mixed into a bowl of soup or stirred into fried rice. The heat and other flavors will help you adjust to the taste gradually. You can find natto in the frozen section of most Asian grocery stores, and increasingly in the international aisle of regular supermarkets. It's usually sold in small styrofoam containers and comes with packets of soy sauce and mustard. Japanese elders typically eat natto 3 to 4 times per week, with each serving being about 1 to 2 tablespoons. That's enough to provide significant health benefits without overwhelming your palate. If natto is truly not acceptable to your taste preferences, you can get some similar benefits from other fermented soy products like miso paste, tempeh, or fermented soy sauce. While they don't contain as much vitamin K2 as natto, they still provide probiotics and other beneficial compounds. The key is the fermentation process, which transforms regular soybeans into a superfood that supports bone health, heart health, and digestive health simultaneously. Food number 3, seaweed, the mineral and hormone powerhouse. Coming in at number 3 is a food that most Westerners consider exotic and difficult, but is as common as bread in Japanese households. Seaweed. Japanese people consume more seaweed per capita than any other population on Earth. The average Japanese elder eats some form of seaweed almost every single day. And their rates of thyroid problems, osteoporosis, and certain types of cancer are dramatically lower than populations that don't consume sea vegetables. Here's why seaweed is so incredibly powerful for healthy aging. It's nature's most concentrated source of essential minerals that become depleted in our bodies as we age. First, let's talk about iodine. Your thyroid gland needs iodine to produce hormones that control your metabolism, energy levels, body temperature, and even your mood. As we age, thyroid function naturally declines, leading to fatigue, weight gain, depression, and cognitive problems. Seaweed provides bioavailable iodine in exactly the right amounts to support optimal thyroid function throughout your life. A study from the University of California found that elderly people with adequate iodine intake had significantly better cognitive function, more stable moods, and higher energy levels than those who were iodine deficient. But iodine is just the beginning. Seaweed contains more calcium than dairy products, more iron than red meat, and more vitamin C than citrus fruits. It's also rich in magnesium, potassium, and trace minerals that are often deficient in modern diets. A comprehensive study published in the Journal of Applied Phycology analyzed the nutritional content of various seaweeds commonly consumed in Japan. They found that a single serving provides over 30% of your daily needs for calcium, iron, and magnesium, plus significant amounts of vitamins A, C, and K. But here's what makes seaweed truly special for those concerned about aging. It contains unique compounds called fucoidins that have been shown to have powerful anti-inflammatory and immune-boosting properties. Chronic low-grade inflammation is now recognized as the root cause of most age-related diseases, arthritis, heart disease, diabetes, even Alzheimer's disease. Fucoidins literally help your body fight this inflammation at the cellular level. Research from Tokyo Medical University found that elderly people who consumed seaweed regularly had significantly lower levels of inflammatory markers in their blood, better immune function, and lower rates of age-related diseases compared to those who didn't eat sea vegetables. Seaweed also contains compounds that support healthy blood pressure and cholesterol levels. The potassium in seaweed helps counteract the effects of sodium, while the fiber helps remove excess cholesterol from your system. Now, let's talk about practical ways to incorporate seaweed into your daily routine without feeling like you're eating pond scum. Nori sheets, the kind used to wrap sushi, are probably the most approachable for beginners. They have a mild, slightly nutty flavor and can be cut into strips and added to salads, soups, or eaten as snacks. You can find seasoned nori snacks in most grocery stores now. They taste similar to salty potato chips but with a fraction of the calories and none of the processed ingredients. Wakame seaweed is commonly used in miso soup and has a delicate, slightly sweet flavor. You can buy it dried and rehydrate it by soaking in warm water for a few minutes. Add it to salads, soups, or stir-fries. Kombu is used to make dashi, the flavorful broth that forms the base of many Japanese soups. You can simmer a piece of kombu in water for 10 minutes to create a mineral-rich broth, then use that broth for cooking rice or making soups. Start with small amounts, maybe a few strips of nori or a tablespoon of rehydrated wakame 3 times per week. Your body will begin benefiting from the minerals immediately, and most people find that they actually enjoy the unique flavors within a few weeks. Food number 2, fatty fish, the ultimate brain and heart protector. Number 2 is absolutely crucial for maintaining your independence and mental sharpness as you age. Fatty fish. Japanese elders eat fish an average of 12 times per week. Let me repeat that. 12 times per week. Compare that to the average American, who eats fish less than twice per week, and you begin to understand why cognitive decline, heart disease, and joint problems are so much less common in Japan. The omega-3 fatty acids found in fatty fish, specifically EPA and DHA, are like premium fuel for your brain and cardiovascular system. These essential fats maintain the structure and flexibility of cell membranes throughout your body, but they're especially important for brain cells and the lining of your blood vessels. Here's what happens in your brain when you don't get enough omega-3s. The cell membranes become rigid and inflexible. Communication between brain cells slows down. Inflammation increases. The production of important neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine decreases. Over time, this leads to memory problems, difficulty concentrating, mood changes, and eventual cognitive decline. But when you consume adequate omega-3s from fatty fish, the opposite happens. Brain cell membranes remain flexible and healthy. Communication between neurons stays fast and efficient. Inflammation decreases. Your brain can even grow new cells and form new connections well into old age. The research on fish consumption and brain health is overwhelming. The Nurses' Health Study, which followed over 16,000 women for over 20 years, found that those who ate fish twice per week had significantly slower rates of cognitive decline. Their memory remained sharper, their thinking clearer, and their risk of developing dementia dropped by over 35%. But perhaps even more impressive was the Chicago Health and Aging Project, which studied over 3,000 elderly people for 6 years. Those who ate fish at least once per week had a 60% slower rate of cognitive decline compared to those who rarely ate fish. The same omega-3 fatty acids that protect your brain also provide remarkable benefits for your cardiovascular system. They reduce inflammation in your arteries, help maintain healthy blood pressure, reduce the risk of dangerous irregular heartbeats, and improve the flexibility of blood vessel walls. A meta-analysis published in the Journal of the American Medical Association reviewed over 20 studies involving more than 200,000 people. Those with the highest omega-3 intake from fish had a 36% lower risk of death from heart disease and a 21% lower risk of death from any cause. But fatty fish provides benefits beyond just omega-3s. It's also an excellent source of high-quality protein that's easily absorbed and utilized by your body. As we age, maintaining muscle mass becomes increasingly important for strength, balance, and independence. Fish is also rich in vitamin D, which supports bone health and immune function. Many older adults are deficient in vitamin D, especially those who spend limited time outdoors. When I say fatty fish, I'm specifically talking about salmon, mackerel, sardines, herring, anchovies, and certain types of tuna. These fish accumulate omega-3s in their tissues because of their diet in the wild. The Japanese preparation methods are simple but incredibly effective. They often grill fish with just a touch of salt, steam it with vegetables, or incorporate it into soups and stews. No heavy sauces, complicated preparations, or deep frying that can destroy the beneficial oils. If you're not used to eating fish regularly, start gradually. Canned salmon and sardines are excellent choices. They're affordable, convenient, shelf-stable, and just as nutritious as fresh fish. The canning process actually makes the bones soft and edible, providing additional calcium. You can add canned salmon to salads, make simple salmon patties, or eat it on whole grain crackers with a squeeze of lemon. Sardines can be mashed with a little olive oil and lemon juice and spread on toast, or added to pasta dishes. Aim for at least 3 servings of fatty fish per week, with each serving being about the size of your palm. If you can work up to 4 or 5 servings per week, even better. Your brain will start feeling sharper and your energy levels will improve within just a few weeks of consistent consumption. Food number 1, shiitake mushrooms, the immune system rejuvenator. And now for number 1, the most powerful longevity food in the traditional Japanese diet. Shiitake mushrooms. These aren't just any ordinary mushrooms you might find on a pizza. Shiitake mushrooms have been revered in Japanese culture for over 2,000 years, not just as food, but as medicine. And modern science has proven that this reverence is completely justified. Shiitake mushrooms contain a unique compound called lentinan that has been shown to boost immune system function by up to 300% in clinical studies. Let me put that in perspective for you. As we age, our immune system naturally weakens through a process called immunosenescence. This is why older adults are more susceptible to infections, take longer to heal from injuries, have higher rates of cancer, and often don't respond as well to vaccines. But Japanese elders who consume shiitake mushrooms regularly maintain immune function comparable to people who are decades younger. Their bodies continue to fight off infections effectively, heal quickly from injuries, and maintain the surveillance systems that prevent abnormal cell growth. A groundbreaking study published in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition had healthy adults eat shiitake mushrooms daily for 4 weeks. By the end of the study, they had significantly better functioning immune cells, lower levels of inflammatory proteins in their blood, and improved resistance to infections. The researchers found that lentinan works by activating several types of immune cells simultaneously: T cells, B cells, natural killer cells, and macrophages. It's like giving your immune system a complete tune-up and upgrade. But shiitake mushrooms provide benefits far beyond immune support. They contain a compound called aritatinine that helps lower cholesterol levels naturally and safely. Unlike pharmaceutical cholesterol medications that can have serious side effects, aritatinine works gently to help your body process and eliminate excess cholesterol. A study from Shizuoka University found that people who ate shiitake mushrooms regularly had significantly lower total cholesterol, lower LDL, bad, cholesterol, and higher HDL, good, cholesterol compared to those who didn't consume mushrooms. Shiitake mushrooms are also incredibly rich in B vitamins, particularly B5, B6, and folate. These vitamins are essential for energy production, nervous system health, and the formation of red blood cells. Many older adults develop B vitamin deficiencies that contribute to fatigue, depression, and cognitive problems. The selenium content in shiitake mushrooms provides additional antioxidant protection and supports thyroid function. Selenium works synergistically with the iodine from seaweed to optimize hormone production and metabolism. Perhaps most remarkably, shiitake mushrooms contain compounds that have been shown to support healthy aging at the cellular level. They help maintain telomere length, the protective caps on your chromosomes that shorten as you age. Longer telomeres are associated with slower aging and increased lifespan. The traditional Japanese preparation methods maximize the nutritional benefits of shiitake mushrooms. They're often dried, which concentrates the beneficial compounds, then rehydrated and used in soups, stir-fries, and rice dishes. Drying also makes shiitake mushrooms more affordable and shelf-stable. You can find dried shiitake mushrooms in most grocery stores now, both in the Asian food section and increasingly in the regular produce area. To prepare dried shiitake mushrooms, simply soak them in warm water for 15 to 20 minutes until they're soft and pliable. Save the soaking liquid, it's rich in nutrients and makes an excellent base for soups or cooking rice. Fresh shiitake mushrooms are also widely available and can be used just like any other mushroom. Slice them and add to omelets, sauté them with garlic and herbs as a side dish, or include them in stir-fries and pasta dishes. The earthy, savory flavor of shiitake mushrooms is incredibly satisfying and adds depth to almost any dish. Many people find them more flavorful and meaty than regular button mushrooms. Try to include shiitake mushrooms in your meals 3 to 4 times per week. Even small amounts provide significant benefits. The immune-boosting effects begin within just a few days of regular consumption, and the long-term benefits for healthy aging are truly remarkable. Now, I want to hear from you, and this is really important to me. Which of these 5 Japanese longevity foods sounds most appealing to you right now? Which one seems like the easiest to start incorporating into your daily routine this week? Maybe you're already a tea drinker and the idea of switching to green tea feels manageable. Perhaps you love mushrooms and you're excited to try shiitake varieties. Or maybe you've never considered eating seaweed, but the incredible health benefits have convinced you to give it a try. Whatever your starting point, I want you to know that every small step counts. You don't need to overhaul your entire diet overnight. In fact, that's usually counterproductive and leads to giving up after a few weeks. The Japanese approach to healthy living is all about consistency and gradual improvement over time. Small changes, practiced daily, create remarkable transformations. I want you to do something for me right now. Write in the comments below and tell me 3 things. First, your age. Second, what city or country you're from. And third, which of these 5 Japanese longevity foods you're most excited to try this week. Are you going to start your morning with green tea instead of coffee? Maybe experiment with some shiitake mushrooms in your next stir-fry? Pick up some nori snacks the next time you're at the grocery store? I read every single comment personally, and I love hearing about your health journeys and experiences. Your stories inspire not just me, but other viewers who are on similar paths toward healthier, more vibrant aging. Also, let me know if you have questions about where to find these foods in your area, or if you'd like suggestions for specific recipes or preparation methods. I'm here to help make this as easy and enjoyable as possible for you. Here's what I need you to understand, and this might be the most important thing I say in this entire video. The difference between aging with vitality and aging with decline isn't determined by the genes you inherited from your parents. It's not about luck, expensive treatments, or access to cutting-edge medical technology. It comes down to the simple, daily choices you make. The foods you put on your plate. The habits you cultivate over time. The decision to take active control of your health instead of simply accepting decline as an inevitable part of getting older. These 5 Japanese longevity foods, green tea, fermented soybeans, seaweed, fatty fish, and shiitake mushrooms, have been keeping Japanese elders healthy, independent, and mentally sharp for generations. They're not magic bullets. They're not complicated superfoods that require special preparation. They're simply consistently effective tools that work with your body's natural healing and regeneration processes. You have the power to change your aging trajectory starting today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not after you finish some other health project. Today. You don't need to implement all 5 foods immediately. Pick one. Maybe it's adding a cup of green tea to your morning routine while you read the news. Maybe it's trying shiitake mushrooms in your weekend cooking. Maybe it's picking up a package of nori snacks to try as an afternoon treat instead of chips or crackers. Start there. Master that one change over the next 2 weeks. Let it become a natural part of your routine. Then add the next one. In 3 months, you could be sleeping more soundly, thinking more clearly, and feeling more energetic than you have in years. Your joints might hurt less. Your mood might be more stable. You might find that you're getting sick less often and recovering more quickly when you do. In 6 months, your doctor might be amazed at improvements in your blood work, your blood pressure, your cholesterol levels, maybe even your bone density. You might find yourself taking fewer medications or needing lower doses. In a year, you could be that person that others look at with amazement and ask, "What's your secret? How do you have so much energy? How do you stay so sharp and independent?" Your future self, the person you'll be at 75, 85, or even 95, is counting on the choices you make today. They're hoping you'll give them the gift of vitality, independence, and mental clarity well into their golden years. Don't let them down. Don't accept decline as inevitable. Take control of your aging process with these 5 simple, powerful foods that have been proven effective by both ancient wisdom and modern science. Your best years don't have to be behind you. With the right foods and the right approach, your best years can still be ahead of you.